Now this is cool. It is the first day of summer out here in the gardens at Ball Horticultural Company, and they seem to be celebrating that. Well, actually, they're celebrating Darwin Days, Darwin Perennial Days, which happens to be on the first day of summer this year. Pretty coincidental, eh? Big crowd out here in the gardens. Weather is perfect, warm, not a cloud in the sky, but thousands and thousands of perennials being viewed by hundreds and hundreds of people, and we're gonna join them. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find Carl Batzke, who's overseeing Darwin, to ask him a little bit more about Perennial Days and maybe get some tips on what we ought to be taking a look at. So come with me. I told you I'd find him. There he is, Carl Batzke. My friend, how are you? General Manager of Darwin Perennials,
That's right.
Which means you generally manage.
Yeah, I generally try. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, you're managing Darwin Perennial Day fabulously, it looks
Thank
like.
you.
Tell us a little bit about this event.
Sure. Well, this is 13 years, if you can believe it, at Darwin Perennials Day. We missed one, of course, during COVID, which a lot of things were missed then. And we've had great weather some years, like this year. Some years we've had tornado warnings, but we've got a
Rain and heat and everything else.
very reliable group of perennial geeks and devotees that come in for this every year. Really excited.
Devotees.
So we're almost
You're
about
expecting?
500 total people this year.
Good crowd.
So we've got over 30 vendor tents. So a lot of the customers who come in can talk to their suppliers of perennial young plants. So that's really exciting. Breeding companies here representing perennials. And it's really a great way for us to put the focus on perennials with our beautiful beds here. And this time of the year, lots of things are in flower. So we love having everybody come in.
You got lucky on the 13th.
Yeah, exactly.
Conditions-
That's right.
A little breeze, a little warm, but I mean,
Right.
not a cloud in the sky. And you're partnering kind of with Ball Seed as well.
Correct.
On this, who's your distributor. And is there another purpose to this other than just come out to look at perennials?
Well, I
What
think-
does an attendee get out of this?
Well, an attendee will get that interaction with suppliers through their Ball Seed connections and things like that. So I think that's really important. You know, a lot of times we're working with people over Zoom or Teams or emails, and they can see the face-to-face.
Boy, we're tired of that, are we not?
And we're a face-to-face industry, let's face it. The other thing is we have a lot of educational sessions that are going on
Right.
here. So talking about how to position new products. And I know today our kind of keynote is going to be ideas about retail garden center, way to sell more products. So there's always something to learn when people come. We always serve a great lunch. So that's an incentive to get here.
Not that we care about that.
No, not at all.
I smell it now.
Right? Exactly.
And so I want to get face to face with some of the new varieties out here.
Yes, sir.
Who's the best person to take me?
Well, I think our sales and marketing manager, Seth Reid, is going to be the guy because he loves and is passionate about the products, and he'll be fun to
Turn me
take
loose
you
with Seth. That ought to be exciting. But that means we got to go find him, right?
Yep. that's
Amongst
true.
the 500 people. All right, everybody, come on. I'm going to bring my 2 camera people with me.
All right.
Thanks, Carl.
All right, thanks, Chris.
All right, we got to find a Seth. We need a Seth. Anybody seen a Seth? Does anybody know what a Seth looks like? The guy in the teal shirt, Seth Reid. That's who we want. Hey, Seth. Don't want to interrupt you and Tom, but thanks. I want to ask you. By the way, Seth Reid, Sales and Marketing Manager for Darwin Perennials,
That's me.
who in his spare time is a budding perennial expert.
Yeah, no, I know a few things.
So we're going to test his knowledge and learn about, I don't know, half dozen or so of the newest things you got from Darwin Perennials. And conveniently, there's one right behind us here in pots. Let's take a look. Tell us about this one.
So this is our new double scoop deluxe echinacea.
You've had double scoop.
We have had double scoop, but these are deluxe
All right.
because double flowering echinacea generally are not great plants. They don't always have very many flower buds on them, and you can see the Double Scoop Deluxe has a ton of flowers on them.
Lots of buds, lots of flowers. I love the sturdy habit too.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to hold up in the garden.
Yeah, and so the same breeder that brought you sombreros is now bringing you Double Scoop Deluxe. So it has all the great attributes of sombreros, which basically is sold in every garden center across the world.
All right, how many colors?
So this has 4 colors.
All right.
So this is watermelon that we're looking at. We also have orangeberry, raspberry, and strawberry.
All right. Tasty.
Yeah, you should have.
Eating those over in the tent over there.
Yeah, we'll look into that.
All right. And zone?
Zone. So hardy to zone 4.
All right. And this one again is
Watermelon.
Double Scoop.
Double Scoop Deluxe watermelon.
Double Scoop Deluxe watermelon.
Maybe a mouthful, but it's easy to write.
Beautiful. All right. What's next?
What's next? All right. So let's go over here to our centaurea silver swirl. This is the item that's really gaining the attraction from everyone. So you can see it in the ground here.
That is stunning. There's no flowers.
You don't need
I
flowers.
always think of perennials as like flowering. Except
No, this is foliage. This is a sophisticated neutral. So it makes everything look really amazing. So actually, if you have a chance when you're walking around, we have some really great containers. Actually, all the containers have it because centaurea silver swirl will upscale every container. It makes every other color.
Is it a perennial Dusty Miller?
Perennial-ish. It's more of a zone 6, 7. So in the south, it will come back. In the north, you're going to treat it like a annual, and you're going to put it in all of your containers.
All right. How big will they get? What kind of habit?
So it really kind of builds upon itself. It'll kind of max out at about maybe 18 inches tall by 18 inches wide. It does get a good size. Trial's been really good. Seeing this down in Florida and just like big old plant.
And holds that bright.
Yeah, holds that bright color. It has a really nice texture too. Right?
We'll check Gen Z with that one.
Yeah,
She's the plant toucher.
Jen will touch it. You can add that in later.
All right. Very good. Let's go find something else.
Okay.
What's this one we're looking at, Seth?
This is sedum doozy. This is a great foliage item, has a really stable variegation, so that way for the grower and the customer, it's not reverting back to green or white, which is a common issue with variegated sedum.
And I like the name.
What a doozy, right? That's fun. That's cool. Like, people will want to buy it.
Now, you've got me looking at lavender super blue, which I think was introduced 4 or 5 years ago or something.
Yeah, it's actually been several years since we've launched this.
All right, so why are we taking a look at this? It's beautiful. No doubt about it.
Beautiful. So this is a really good example of a new landscape brand that we're launching here at Darwin Perennials Day called Better Versions by Darwin Perennials.
Better versions, all right.
We're focusing on plants that have been on the market for at least 5 years. So they've been trialed all over the country. And we know that this is a better version than lavender hitkati, which is an old variety that's been out on the market. So this has bigger clusters of blue flowers and a better habit in the landscape.
All right, so it's a whole program. What are some of the other varieties you're including with
We have Salvia Blue Bayou, which is a better version than May Night, earlier to bloom, longer blooming, and a much better habit in the landscape. And we also have Nepeta Junior Walker, which is a better version than Walker's Low. Earlier to bloom, and it won't lodge open in the landscape.
All right, that's a good idea because you do have those old perennials, tried and true. They still work great, but there's something better out there now. This is a way for people to know what's better than the one I'm used to.
Absolutely. We're really focusing on stuff that's been out there. So there's the confidence from the landscaper, the contractor, the designer, and architects that these truly are better versions than what's out there.
You know who else loves it?
Who?
The bees.
Bees do love it. It's a great pollinator plant.
Now, what is this little cutie we're looking at here, Seth?
This is Armeria Dreameria Vivid Dreams.
We saw it in the garden, but it's kind of hard to get down low there.
You know,
my knees aren't what they used to be, but thankfully you've got them in pots here. Armeria Dreameria Vivid Dreams.
Vivid Dreams. Yes. So Armeria's been around for a long time. It's often a seed variety, but it really fizzles in the summer. Whereas the Dreameria series has that big spring flush, lasts throughout the summer, sporadic blooming, and then in the fall, another big flush.
All right, so you get that spring and fall blooming, and maybe even a little bit of summertime color. It's pretty warm out here right now, and it looks beautiful.
Yes, so better performance and larger flowers than your typical.
All right, sign says zone 5A to 9A, so throughout much of the country. Just this one color?
No, so I actually had 6 colors. So the Vivid Dreams is the new one this year, and you can see how vivid it is.
I get it.
You get it?
Right. Well, but we've just shown a small selection of what's really available out here at Darwin Perennials Day. You've got 1,000 varieties easily from a lot of different sources as well.
Yeah, we got a lot of varieties. All the main perennial breeders, all of the main perennial suppliers are here. So if you're watching this video and you haven't been here, you got to come next year.
It's somewhere around mid to
It is.
third
It
week,
is. It is the same Wednesday and week 25 every single year.
which puts it right around the first day of summer, like today. All right, thanks, Seth. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
It's nice. One of the reasons to come to Darwin Perennial Days is to find perennials, and from many, many different sources, partners of Darwin and of Ball Seed Company in a lot of different forms. They've got plugs, liners, tissue culture, domestic products, imported products, bare root, bulbs. You've got grasses, pretty much everything you could possibly need. I don't know if there's any other forms out there. Maybe they'll invent some new ones out here. Darwin Colombia is the newest farm for Darwin Perennials. And I'm here with a general manager who I just met, Christine Bruska. And Christine, your farm is 9 years old now, I think, is that right? For Darwin?
Yes, you're right. Yes.
Yeah. How many perennials do you produce?
We have around 75 genus and around 750 varieties.
750 varieties and 75 genus. How many cuttings will you ship out of there every year?
75 million cuttings.
I can't even count that high forever. And one of the special things, one of the reasons we're here right now is this sign that Osvaldo was just pointing out. You have recently become MPS GAP certified.
Yes.
Congratulations. But briefly,
Thank you.
what does that mean? What did it take to do that?
Okay, it means that we are a farm that take care of the environment and take care of the employees. So that's why it's so important for our customers. Start with Europe, and now also the US is requesting the same responsibilities, social and environmental responsibilities.
How many employees do you have now at Darwin Colombia?
We have 430 workers.
Big employer down in Colombia, very important. And you take good care
Yeah.
of your employees.
That's why now we obtain also the Great Place to Work certification, because we are taking care of our employees. And employees is the base of our success.
There you go. So if anybody wonders about offshore cuttings, is it sustainable? Is it environmentally friendly? Are they taking care of their workers? The answer is absolutely yes.
Yes.
Well done.
Okay.
You know, I've heard invest in gold is a wise thing. And Chris Fifo is going to hook me up with some gold.
Hey, we've
Did
got
you know that?
gold to invest in, Chris. I hear that it is a good time to invest in gold.
Well, give me your portfolio.
Hey, I'll give you some gold that will last.
Give me a tip,
several
a hot
years.
tip.
Yes, the hottest tip I've got for you now is yellow ombre echinacea. But look at that. That is a golden echinacea.
It's not yellow. It should be called
That is-
gold ombre.
It is. But you know, this was an AES winner for a very good reason. The strong landscape performance. This is going to rival so many of those echinaceae. Those expensive ones coming from tissue culture, from laboratories. This is a seed.
That's from seeds. And I should introduce you before we get too far. This is Chris Fifo, who is a product specialist, both for Darwin Perennials, but also for Kieft Seeds.
So I get the dual role, 2 companies, but it's all perennials. And why should we distinguish seed from vegetative?
We shouldn't, but we're going to. And these
Yeah,
are from
we-
seeds.
So this is from seed. It is actually a breakthrough because this is the first F1 hybrid echinacea on the market. That's going to give stronger performance, more uniform colors, better branching, and higher flower count that first year from seed than you're going to see in any other echinacea out there from seed.
And this is first year planted in 2023, it says.
Yes.
So the plants will really fill
Correctly
in.
planted. You can see the flower count that we're getting here really without even trying.
All right, I'm going to add that to my portfolio. You've got another one up here, though, where apparently I can double my money.
A little bit more on the gold. We can double that investment with double the sun. Look at that performance. Everybody's familiar with early sunrise coreopsis. Been around for a long time.
Right.
This is your improvement. This is flowering earlier, stronger performance, and gosh, look at that color.
How long is it going to carry? How long is it going to carry that color for me in my own?
We're going to get probably 3 more weeks out of this. These have been going for 2 weeks already, so really good early spring. Great performance on the Double the Suns.
Beautiful.
You can't go wrong. One more variety to add to our golden theme today is Rudbeckia Gold Blitz. This is the improvement over Rudbeckia Goldsturm in that, number one, it's flowering 2 to 3 weeks earlier than Rudbeckia Goldsturm, which is huge. Second, it is truly a first-year flowering Rudbeckia fulgida. Normally, Goldsturm would need fall planted. This could be spring planted. In the landscape, it's going to look virtually like Goldsturm. So, grower message here, look for Rudbeckia Gold Blitz.
Now this one's not gold, but you might call it a blue chip variety.
Blue chip stock. We're going to break from our gold theme here with our new perovskia bluezette.
It's not in bloom like the last one we just talked about.
Look,
a few weeks.
so close. This is much closer to being bloom than any of the perovskias right now. This is a spring blooming perovskia in the garden center, in the greenhouse. Growers can have this in flower, which is unusual for a perovskia. But in the garden,
earliness is
earliness is a theme with this one. Also in the garden, look, we brought this to the front. Normally, you're going to see perovskia in the middle or the back of your landscape. This is a dwarf. It's going to be in the front, so a new use for a perovskia, and coming from seed, completely unusual type.
That's the one thing we have to remember. All these that you've seen are from seed, specifically from Kieft seed.
And these are new, fantastic introductions. Our goal with Kieft seed is really to introduce items that have comparable vegetative counterparts.
Right.
These take a lot longer though than it does for veg, so you see these coming a little bit slower than you do on the vegetative.
The seed and vegetative, you can see it all out here at Darwin Perennial Day. He's going to slip.
Darwin
And Kieft Perennial Day.
But today is all about perennials, not about Darwin Kieft, it's about perennials.
It's Perennials Day here at Ball Horticultural Company. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. My video team asked, where do you want to shoot the wrap-up to this video, Chris? And I said, let's go out to that vendor tent area where there's so many people gathered around. And I found out so many people are now gathered in the lunch tent. It's lunchtime here at Darwin Perennial Days, so I guess we'll go join them. But put on your calendar around the 20th or so of next June, 2024, be here for yourself to find the latest and greatest in new perennial varieties from everybody around the world. Till then, I'm Chris Beytes from GrowerTalks magazine saying, see you, everybody. Lunch. Save me a burger.